actually graduate in 3 weeks, and now's the time that I decided that I'm going to start studying outside of my room. So come with me to this new library that I found through TikTok. I actually usually do study outside of my room, but I just always go to the same places. So I thought I'd try something new. It actually took me quite a minute to find the entrance because since it's on the second floor, you kind of have to find these side stairs and the elevator. I also brought my food because I knew this library had a balcony. The inside's really cute, colorful and vibrant, which is my kind of vibe. Since the last couple of weeks of school, I have a lot of exit exams I had to study for. So that's really what I did at the library. And to be so honest, I got so much work done. And it's because like when you're in a library, you just have to do work because everyone around you is doing work. So you're just forced to do it too.
And I was actually born in America. I was born in Dallas, but I lived all my life in England. And I have a US passport, I have a US citizenship, and I have a UK passport and citizenship as well. So nationality-wise, I am American and British as well. And then ethnically, I'm Nigerian. So yeah. But the reason why I came is because I just wanted to basically make use of the fact that I can live in America. So I just didn't want to regret anything in the future. Like I didn't want to be like, oh, I wish I tried living in America when I'm like in my 30s and 40s, you know? Also for me, it was really like convenient and like beneficial for the career path that I want to go into. So yeah. In honor of it being the week that Queen Elizabeth died, I want to tell you guys a really funny story. So, you know, I live in America and I lived in America when the Queen died, and I was working and I worked at like a daycare. And because I work with kids, we weren't allowed our phones on us, so I didn't hear the news until like later. So then my manager comes to my room and she like kneels in front of me. She kneels because I'm sitting down. So she kneels in front of me like on one leg and she's like, she looks at me like, and I'm just looking at her like, yes. And then she's like, are you okay? I promise guys, I'm not making this up. So then I was like, yeah, I'm okay. And then she's like, I'm sorry to say, but the Queen died. And I actually just look at her like, okay, like, the Queen is not my grandma, bro. Like, that's cool. Like, I'm actually good. But no, I literally got like, I got so many messages that day from like American people like, oh my gosh, the Queen died. Are you okay? Like, it's actually calm. Like, she's actually not our sis. Like.
Hey guys, it's your favorite Brit living in America, and I'm back with another weekend vlog. I actually went to the gym, by the way, but I just forgot to record it. So when I got home, I noticed the cat was really close to me, and I don't know why, because he actually doesn't really like me, for real. So then I noticed his food bowl was empty, so that's really what he wanted. So, yeah, I accidentally hit him in the face.
With new details in the tragic stabbing death of a Houston nursing student. Police say the 23-year-old British woman was killed by her roommate last weekend.
Elizabeth Odunsi, lovingly known as Tommy by friends, family, and her online community, was a radiant 23-year-old whose warmth, ambition, and kindness left a lasting impression on everyone she met. A British-Nigerian content creator and nursing student, Tammy captured hearts on TikTok under the name Tammy Dollars, where she inspired over 30,000 followers with glimpses into her journey, her dreams, and her deeply compassionate spirit. In 2022, driven by a fierce determination to follow her calling, she made the bold decision to move from the United Kingdom to the United States. There, she enrolled at the Texas Women's University Institute of Health Sciences to pursue a career in nursing, a profession that perfectly reflected her desire to serve, to heal, and to make a difference in the lives of others. Tammy had a deep and heartfelt passion for neonatal nursing, a calling that went beyond just a career choice. She dreamed of becoming a voice for Black mothers who, as statistics continue to show, are disproportionately affected by maternal complications and systemic disparities within the healthcare system. Her goal was to advocate for those whose needs are too often overlooked. Neonatal nurses specialize in caring for newborns, particularly during the first month of life, a time that can be especially critical. These nurses often provide intensive care for infants born prematurely, those with birth defects, congenital heart conditions, respiratory issues, or other serious health concerns. She was determined to stand in the gap, offering not only medical care, but also empathy, advocacy, and representation in a field where it's desperately needed. Tommy frequently documented her path through nursing school, offering encouragement to others, sharing study tips, and celebrating milestones.
As a graduating nursing student, okay, this is actually something I wish someone told me. But start researching where you want to work when you graduate. Nursing school is going to go so fast. Like, it's going to go so fast. You're going to blink and you're going to be graduating.
And you need to know where you want to apply. And you need to know what they require and all that stuff. So start researching as soon as you can. Preferably not the last semester. Be nice to your professors, because you're going to need them, okay? Be nice, be someone's favorites. Because not going to lie, professors have favorites, they do. And you're going to need them for letter of recommendations, advice, all that stuff.
Her infectious enthusiasm shone brightly in her final post, where she joyfully spoke about her upcoming graduation, planned vacations, and hopes for the future. She often expressed a longing to deepen her relationship with Christ and dreamed of a life marked by peace, purpose, and quiet contentment. She embraced her new life in America wholeheartedly, often remarking that the energy, or as she put it, the vibes in the U.S. simply felt better than in the UK.
I really love Houston, like everything about it. But the main reason why I say America is because of my career choice. I'm going into nursing. Nurses are underpaid anywhere you go in the world, but they make a lot more money here than in the UK. Also, I feel like the cost of living is a lot cheaper here than London. Like, I was just looking at houses. I always look at houses because I'm just always doing that. But I was looking at houses, and 500K, like a house worth 500K here versus London is ridiculous, the difference. Like, you guys should go Google that. Also, like, to fuel my car is like $50 max, and I drive a 2-point-something liter car. I don't know if that matters, but yeah. Also, the vibes are just so much better here. I don't know how to explain it, they just are. I have like a million stories about my interaction with Americans. They are generally nice, like very, very nice to me. Like, I've never had like a bad interaction with an American about being British. They definitely love the accent, like they love it. Like, I had to get over my social anxiety because there's no way around it. Like, people always want to talk to me. They always want to know something about England. It's always something. I feel like I've also gotten a lot of, I don't know what to call it, but like good treatment, like a lot of free stuff, a lot of discounted stuff. My teachers love me. Like, people just want to talk to me. It's really just like really good vibes, honestly. And I feel like I'm so used to like the England vibes, like everyone just not caring and just in their own lane. Here, Americans are just so like, they just talk to you. Like, they just come up to you and talk to you and have like a 10-minute conversation with you. Like, they're just so nice. So yeah, I really enjoy living in America. I've been here 5 years now, and I have no plans to move back to London, that's for sure. Like, none.
Just weeks before her graduation, she proudly shared a photo of herself in her cap and gown with the hopeful caption, 3 more weeks. It was clear that everything was falling into place. Years of hard work, sacrifice, and resilience were finally about to bear fruit. Tommy was ready to step into the next chapter of her life with open arms and a full heart. But in a heartbreaking and unforeseen twist of fate, tragedy would strike, turning what should have been a moment of triumph into one of sorrow. No one could have predicted how quickly everything would change for Elizabeth, how a life so full of promise, joy, and light could be altered in an instant. On April 26th, officers with the Houston Police Department were dispatched to an apartment complex on Goforth Street, located on the city's south side, to conduct a welfare check. What they encountered upon entering the residence was deeply disturbing and profoundly heartbreaking. Inside the kitchen area, they uncovered a tragic and gruesome scene, one that would send shockwaves through the community and devastate all who knew and loved Elizabeth.
It's a quiet Saturday at this apartment on Goforth Street on Houston's South Side, but just a week earlier on the afternoon of April 26th, Houston police say it was a bloody murder scene. HPD finding a 23-year-old woman in one of the units lying on the kitchen floor with multiple stab wounds.
The victim was identified as 23-year-old Elizabeth Odunsi. Elizabeth was found dead inside her apartment, her body discovered on the kitchen floor with multiple stab wounds. She was pronounced dead at the scene, a devastating end to a young life full of promise, compassion, and determination. Houston police had initially been called to the residence on Goforth Street for a welfare check. When officers arrived, there was no response at the door. As they walked around the premises, they noticed bloodstains on the concrete outside the back patio. Fearing the worst, they forced entry into the apartment. Inside, they uncovered a gruesome scene. In addition to Elizabeth's body, they found a man in another room suffering from multiple self-inflicted stab wounds. He was later identified as 40-year-old Chester Grant and transported to a nearby hospital in critical condition. As investigators delved deeper into the circumstances surrounding Elizabeth's tragic death, troubling details began to emerge. According to early reports, just days before her passing, Elizabeth and her roommate of 2 months, 40-year-old Chester Grant, had been involved in an argument, allegedly sparked by disagreements over the cats they were caring for in their shared apartment. Authorities believe this dispute escalated into a physical altercation that ultimately ended in violence. After the attack, Grant reportedly attempted to harm himself, though his efforts were ultimately unsuccessful. While police officially described Grant as Elizabeth's roommate, further investigation uncovered conflicting accounts of their relationship. Some sources suggested that Grant may have been romantically involved with Elizabeth, while others claimed the connection was one-sided. It has also been alleged that the story of the argument over the cats may have been fabricated by Grant in an attempt to mask a more disturbing truth, that he struck and ultimately killed Elizabeth after she rejected his advances. The heartbreaking news of Elizabeth's death sent shockwaves through her family, friends, and the wider community, particularly in her native United Kingdom. What should have been a time of celebration, marking the end of her studies and the beginning of a promising nursing career, has instead become a time of deep mourning. In the wake of her passing, Elizabeth's family launched a GoFundMe campaign to help raise funds to repatriate her body and cover funeral expenses. The response was overwhelming, with the campaign surpassing $72,000 in donations, a reflection of the love and support pouring in from all over. Texas Women's University, where Elizabeth was studying, did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Elizabeth's devastated sister spoke out about the family's unimaginable loss, describing the pain of losing her so close to graduation. "This should have been the happiest time in her life," she said. "Now, instead of planning her graduation party, we are preparing to lay her to rest." In honor of her graduation, Elizabeth's family made the long and heartbreaking journey from the UK to Houston to accept her degree on her behalf. Her brothers and grieving sister stood together to receive it, a symbol of Elizabeth's hard work, dedication, and her passion for a career in which she had hoped to make a meaningful impact.
We've learned that Grant is accused of stabbing Odunsi more than 24 times inside their apartment over an argument about his cat. Now Odunsi's family is hoping to move her body back to the UK.
I'm about to graduate, and I really wish I had this during nursing school because it definitely would have helped.
23-year-old Elizabeth Odunsi often posted videos like this on her popular TikTok page, detailing her time in nursing school after moving to the US from the UK. This video of her dancing, mentioning being 2 weeks out from graduation, is the last post she made. It was uploaded just 5 days before Odunsi's life was cut short. Houston police say Odunsi was stabbed to death on April 26 inside her apartment on Goforth Street by her roommate, 40-year-old Chester Grant. Homicide detectives tell me the killing stemmed from an argument about his cat from days earlier.
Mr.
Grant, now charged with murdering Odunsi, appearing in probable cause court this weekend.
The allegations in this case allege he stabbed his female roommate 28 times, killing her over some disagreement over his cat. So this is an allegedly extremely brutal murder with an extensive history of violence, which I find to be an extreme danger to the community.
A bandage seen on Grant's neck. Police tell me Grant tried taking his own life after killing Odunsi, stabbing himself at least 6 times, including in the neck. The judge also saying Grant has had multiple arrests and convictions for violence from out of state. Odunsi's loved ones creating this GoFundMe page saying, quote, she moved from the UK to the United States to pursue her dream of becoming a nurse, dedicating herself to a life of care and service, and that their, quote, goal is to bring Tammy home from the United States to the UK so she can be laid to rest surrounded by her family and loved ones.
After spending several days in the hospital recovering from his self-inflicted injuries, Chester Grant appeared before a probable cause court on May 3rd. He has since been formally charged with murder in connection to the death of Elizabeth Odunsi. Grant is currently being held at the Harris County Jail on a $500,000 bond. His first official court appearance was scheduled for May 5th, where he faced the charges against him. However, the date has since been pushed back until he is granted a court-appointed attorney. As the legal process unfolds, the investigation into Elizabeth's tragic and untimely death remains active. Authorities continue working to uncover the full truth of what led to the fatal encounter, determined to seek justice on behalf of Elizabeth and the many lives she touched during her short but impactful life.
I've actually gotten this question a lot in my DMs for like people that want to move to America and stuff like that. So personally for me, I think I settled really well, and I think that's because I had like my family here that helped me, because I live with my auntie and her children. So, you know, I didn't just come by myself and I was like lost, you know. Of course it was like a culture shock, but not in like a bad way. It wasn't like a thing where I'm just like panicking and stuff. The only thing I did kind of struggle with was when I first got my job in America and I was like a cashier and I didn't really understand currency yet. So I was given like the wrong change all the time, which was kind of like, you know, bad, but whatever. That's the only struggle I literally had. Making friends as well wasn't hard at all. Like literally, people are really nice here, first of all. Like everyone's really nice, especially the girls, and they're really welcoming. As soon as you like talk, they're like ready to have a conversation with you and stuff like that. I would say like going to uni as well really helped me make friends, because I'd go like parties and stuff and socialize and all that stuff. I also like made friends at church and stuff like that. And once you meet like specific people in your area, they introduce you to other people, and then they introduce you to other people, and then you just kind of eventually all know each other. So making friends is not a problem at all, trust me. But one thing I would say is that it really just depends on where you move to. I really put an emphasis on that, like especially when people DM me, I always ask them, is there a specific state you want to go, because it's really different for every state. But in general, I would say like settling in and making friends, it was pretty smooth. Okay, so this is going to be a video of things I wish I knew before nursing school and tips for incoming nursing school students while I get ready for church. Okay, so first thing I want to say is like, don't be too worried about like what people say about the difficulty of nursing school, especially the people on the internet, because they will really scare you. I remember I was so petrified about nursing school. Like I was so scared. I thought it was the end of my social life and that I was just going to be like isolated and all that stuff. But then I got into the program and I was like, oh, it's not that bad. Like the workload is like manageable, you know? So yeah, basically don't panic and just like wait till you actually get into nursing school to judge whether it's like hard or not. Stay away from those overdoers and those people that like to panic a lot. And I'm talking like the people that'll be like, oh, I studied 8 to 12 hours yesterday, or I printed out the whole syllabus. Like just people doing the absolute most for no reason. And also the people that panic too much, they're like, oh my gosh, did you do this, did you do that? Like stay away from those people. They will literally make you so anxious, so nervous, and they're just like not good. So stay away from those people. I feel like this next thing I'm going to say is just common sense, but please don't go into nursing just for the money. And I'm saying this because I've had clinicals and I can really tell what nurses just went into nursing because of the money, and then what nurses actually care about their patients. To be a nurse, you actually have to be like caring, compassionate, and sometimes you won't even have really nice patients, but you still have to do your job. So if you can't handle that, please get out of your program right now. Last thing I want to say is nursing school goes by so quick. I remember like first getting into nursing school and saying to myself, okay, I'm going to quit doing this and that so I can focus on nursing school, and just thinking like, oh my gosh, this is such a long time. But it's really not. Like it goes so quick. And honestly, you even have like summer and Christmas in between. So honestly, it's not that bad. It'll go by so fast, I promise you. Okay, last thing I want to say is try to make friends. If you're struggling, the person next to you is probably struggling too. And it's better to struggle with someone than to struggle by yourself. So try to make friends, try to build a community. Even with your family, make sure you have someone there, like support people that you can rely on, you know. And yeah.